yoga moments. Enhance your happiness with the ancient wisdom of yoga.
Hello everybody, this is another podcast with Krishna explaining the difference between awareness and consciousness and why our thinking sometimes is an obstacle and why it's so important to be focused nowadays and to learn it and to sustain it in our lives, especially nowadays, and as well some meditation tips for not overburdening our system during meditation. I hope you enjoy. Hello, Krishna.
Hi, Felicitas. Namaste. Namaskar.
Namaste, namaskar. Nice to see you again for the third podcast, our experiment. And we were saying the last time that we want to explain, well, you want to explain the difference between consciousness and awareness.
Yes, we can start.
We can start without any question.
Yeah, I think, of course, consciousness and awareness is come back to the close contact. It's like we are talking something like with air. But in yoga, we say the consciousness is something bigger, ungraspable. But this consciousness are always taking a form, or I would say that the ingredients of the consciousness is awareness. Imagine it's like a consciousness, something like ungraspable. Remember, you cannot define what is the consciousness because it's something big, something ungraspable. But what you can experience, what you can pinpointing, or what you can work is not directly the consciousness. You cannot really doing something directly with the consciousness. But if something you can do with the consciousness is the awareness. So awareness is like ingredients, it's like a foundation, it's like a basis. Because of the awareness, you can experience the consciousness. Sometimes we have these terminologies, consciousness and awareness is like a two sides of the coin. It can be also, you can see that way, but you cannot see and experience consciousness directly, as I said, but you can work something with the awareness. So awareness is something like we can always applicable, workable. Sometimes we can do some practice, but we cannot do any practice directly with the consciousness. So the big difference between the consciousness and awareness is like that. So in a daily basis, let's say we have these five senses: eyes to see, nostril to smell, the tongues to taste, skin for the sensation of touch, and ear for the listening of the sound. So here, the moment I see the object, any object, so when I see the object come to my mind. This process, capturing all this information, I need awareness. Without the awareness, I really cannot capturing all these informations. And then, for example, I'm getting these informations through the eyes. I'm capturing all the informations. I'm going to the backside of the my consciousness, which is the consciousness where it's projected. All this information will projected into this screen. So you cannot experience the screen directly, but it depends what is projecting on the screen. It's like that. So whenever we are practicing awareness, let's say I'm looking into the flower from here. So this flower, it's like I'm aware of this flower. I'm aware this flower is a red color. I'm aware this is a hibiscus, and this information will be projected into consciousness, and then it's visibly into my screen, like a projections. So we cannot do anything with the screen or the projector because it's something ungraspable. But what I can do with something which I can project, I'm projecting with a flower. I'm projecting with here. I can project with some materials like AirPods or anything. I can project to that. So this projections is awareness. I hope you get a little bit clarity, awareness and consciousness here.
Well, for me, Maybe when in meditation, if I can explain it like that, a feeling of consciousness. Well, first of all, I would say you can't, as you said, describe it, but sometimes I get this feeling because I'm not me anymore. I can feel more kind of this openness, being like in an open space, like try to connect, or maybe even be already a little bit connect. It's more like a feeling of this being open and just losing a little bit of borders from myself and something else or the surroundings.
Yeah, this is exactly I said it. Imagine like the projections into some screen, or let's say we have this projection without screen, like you're projecting to completely unlimited space. Consciousness is like an unlimited space, so if now I'm projecting what I'm projecting towards, if okay, I'm just going to do meditate with observing the flower. So this is my object. So I'm projecting this object into my screen, of course. And the screen, imagine they don't have limitations. Okay, the screens are go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. It's all directions, up, down, side, deep in all three dimensionals. So imagine you have this space expanding. That's why whenever we are in a deep meditation state, we feel this spacious. We feel this losing the sense of the identification. You don't feel yourself, you feel like you're melting and you're disintegrating. Why? Because your projections towards this space, the consciousness, it's beyond limits. It's limitless. Because of you see this limitless, you're growing, you're beginning, beginning. Of course, in a meditation practice, sometimes we need to start somewhere. So we always start with a object. Object can be your breath. So when you observe your breath, you're projecting, observing your breath. The breath is a projecting into this consciousness. And then slowly what you recognize, you're not only seeing the breath in this space, you see beyond the breath. You start expanding. So you're using the breath as like a key to enter into this space. So when you want to experience consciousness, we always need to use a key. And what is the key here? It's your awareness. Without the key, you cannot access to the space. Some people very gifted, they can go directly without the key. It's like a VVVIP. So you can access to this space easily without any control. You just go, no controls. But most of us, we really need some tool and a key. And the key is the awareness. Why we use this awareness? Because awareness is the one dealing with our sensory. So through that, we're projecting, and then we letting go this particular object. Let's say I'm projecting this flower in my consciousness. First, I'm observing this flower, and then slowly I'm letting go this flower, and then I'm open up because I'm already inside of this space of the consciousness. As remember, consciousness can expand. For example, I'm sitting here in this room. First, I'm observing this flower, and then I see this projection of the flower in my consciousness. So I'm still seeing the flower. First, experience the flower. And then the more and more I stay in the flower, okay, in my consciousness, I'm staying in the flower. I realize, okay, it's no more flower. I can expand my consciousness, feel the room where I'm sitting right now. And then slowly, the room also can be disintegrate, crumbles. I can feel the neighbors. I can feel the entire city. I can see entire country. I can feel entire globe. I can feel entire cosmos. It can expand. So the consciousness, the one is like a projector. So before we expand like so big, I'm sitting here and can want to feel the entire country here. It's a drastic shift into the awareness. So if you want to shift this so quickly, the awareness from a small single focus, we call ekagrata, one-pointedness, to expand to the unlimited consciousness. Sometimes we need some tool, some basic tool. That's why in the meditation we start with observing the breath, and then this breath dissolve, and then you expand whatever you want to practice. Okay. That's why you feel spacious.
And once I was in one of your lessons, and you put this flower in the middle of us, and you said, now observe this flower without thinking, without labeling. And for me, this is the awareness, doing things and trying to be really there without labeling something from my past or for the future. And this awareness helps me to be in the here and now. And this opens up sometimes spaces, not being making experience not on your perspective, but just another perspective, like really fresh. And this is kind of awareness for me, like walking and feeling the feet on the ground in the forest. This is another ground than walking on the street. Like for me, it's really separate. And you say this is a tool, awareness is a tool to come into the open space.
Yeah, definitely what you already said. Yes, because can you imagine if you don't experience first this whatever object you are, because this object of the awareness can change. When you see awareness always have object, you need to have some object awareness, aware of the breath, aware of the flower, aware of the sound, aware of the sensations, aware of the thoughts, aware of the emotions. Awareness always needs some object because it's like the projector. You need to project it. Where he's projecting to the unlimited consciousness. Unlimited consciousness is like the screen. It's always there. So if you don't know how to project, if you don't have an object, then you don't project. So the awareness always needs some sort of a object to support, because without this support, we can't. If you don't project anything in the screen, let's say, imagine you are don't projecting anything on the screen, so you see only black or a blank screen. So you don't experience the space because you see some white screen or some black screen, something empty. So it's scary for many people, many meditation practitioners. That's why in the meditation in the beginning, we always need to use the object of the practice. So like a walking meditation, when you walk barefoot on the grass, you can feel the sensation through the feet going to you can feel the grass. You can feel the wetness of the grass. You can feel the humidities, how the grass structure, all these things is object. That's just the object. And this experience coming to your awareness, and this awareness are projected into the consciousness. But end of the day, it's not about the grass. This just as a key. Remember, it's you use this experience walking on the grass, observing the flowers, observing the breath. It's just a tool. You start that so that you know something projecting behind. You experience something. I'm experiencing my feet, my experience, my emotions. I'm experiencing watching the flower. I'm experiencing listening the sound. All this experience I have to lend it and project it in somewhere else. And this space where it's projected, that's we call pure consciousness. But in the beginning, we don't recognize that because it's ungraspable. You cannot really pinpoint that. That is the screen. We don't know because it's something it's very abstract. It's there, but also not there. That's why we really need the awareness with the object, because awareness with the objects are always landed on this screen, which we call consciousness. The more and more we practice, more meditation we're doing, concentration practice, awareness practice, more aware. It's not about me. I'm aware of the grass. If the moment I'm like the example, what do you give? One in my class, I said, I put the flower and don't think about the flower. You just be with the flower. Because the moment you're thinking, you're not being with the flower. You're just being in the cognitions. Oh, this is beautiful flower. Where Krishna bought this flower? Maybe this flower bought in this beautiful shops in this corner. You're getting lost. This is we call getting lost. You're getting lost. You're no more staying with the flower. But even though this thought process, whatever you thought, whatever thinking, It's still happening in this in the halfway between your consciousness and awareness. Imagine your consciousness here, your awareness is projecting here. So let's say if you want to project, before the image landed into your consciousness, in the halfway you start to think, and then the flower, whatever you observe, it's taking completely different shapes. It's don't coming to this projection very clear, because it's get distorted. Distortions means it's a little bit like it's not clear, it's not sharp. When you have this camera, you're turning and turning to get a sharp pointed for this picture can be reflected. So if you have a lot of thought going on, but the main goal is that I want to stay with the flower, but a lot of thoughts going on, so these projections on the consciousness won't come very clear. That's why we have a very difficulties in the meditations, because we're getting lost. So we need to train again and again and again, so that we don't get lost. If I put a flower, I stay with the flower, just resting my awareness with the flower. I'm resting my awareness with the sound. I'm resting my awareness with the breath. So more and more you're resting. So what is happening? This projection comes very sharp somewhere. You see clearly the flower. You're not thinking of the flower. You're clearly listening the sound. You're not thinking of the sound. You are experiencing the breath. You're not thinking of the breath. It's like you're walking on the grass. You're not thinking walking on the grass. How beautiful they cut the grass. Oh, this is a nice sensation. You're not really getting lost. You're just simply being there and resting. You just experience. Experience is just like an air. Experience coming and coming and coming. And the more experience you stay with the experience, it's a projecting more and more into this consciousness. And the next stage, you can work or workable, little bit one step closer to experience with this consciousness. But in a yoga or in a tantric yoga, mostly we have many techniques you can use it, but it's very, very limited. You need an enormous guidance with the masters, because it's ungraspable. You really cannot graspable. You cannot come with a concept. If you have a concept to experience this consciousness, then that means you're still working with the awareness. Awareness, we can apply concepts, because awareness always have a form. You always have this object. We need an object for support the awareness. But consciousness, it can be object. We call object meditation with the object, or we can be also meditate without object. You can be without object. You don't choose any object. We call open state of the mind. There are one state we call open state of the mind. That means you don't think, you don't put any object, particular object. You don't observe your breath. You don't observe anything. You don't have any particular one object, but it we call objectless. Or in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, he's called Nirbija and Sabija. These are two terms he used in the first chapter. Nirbija means without any seed. Sabija means with a seed. Seed means here object. Okay, so I'm using my breath as a seed. So the seed are start to projecting into this consciousness. So first I'm observing the seed, and then slowly I see, okay, the seed are landed into the consciousness, and then I start recognizing, oh, there is something bigger than the seed. So if my breath is my seed, it's no more about my breath. It's beyond my breath. Then I expand. Or sometimes you just come and sit, close your eyes without any object. You can immediately recognize this spaceness, joyful, openness, vastness. This we call Nirbija. Nirbija Samadhi. So Nirbija means the freedom without any object. You don't need to be happy because something happens, You can be liberated with the object. At the same time, also can be liberated without any object. This we call Nirbija Samadhi, the freedom without any object.
And how, if you practice that, try to practice that, sometimes it sounds easy, and sometimes it sounds complicated as well, just being concentrated on one object, not thinking about it. I think you need some practice with it. And if you manage to do that a few times in the week, how would this affect your life, and why is it so important to do that?
Yeah, you know why? Because in the now modern world, we have so much distortions in our well-being generally, especially our manomaya kosha and vijnanamaya kosha, the mental body and the wisdom body, get constantly distorted. One of the reasons because we are no more in this capacity easily can be concentrated. So when you see Patanjali said this in Ashtanga Yoga, in the 8 limbs of the yoga, the last 3 stages, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. Dharana means the focus, concentrations. Dhyana means the meditations, and Samadhi with the liberations. And these 3 stages are very, very important in our daily life. I'm not talking about something like you need to go to the cave, you become a monk, and then you are become just isolate yourself and dedicated to a practice to liberate ultimate liberations. Kaivalya is totally different. I'm talking something in a daily basis. I'm just a normal person living in the city. I'm teaching, I'm working, I'm moving around, I'm earning my money, paying my bills, all these things. You really need some fundamentally concentrations in your life. Any actions you're doing, you need the concentrations. Without the concentrations, we cannot sustain our life in a very good way. So to sustain this the well-being of our mind, we need to learn to concentrate. And to concentrate, dharana means the concentrations. We really need practice with the object, awareness. First, we need to learn what is awareness. I already explained. Awareness always needs the object. So for practice concentrations, you really choose always an object. So I'm observing the flower. While I'm observing the flower, maybe my minds get a little bit chit-chatting, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, chi-chi-chi-chi-chi, this monkey mind, chit-chat, 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 chi-chi-chi-chi. And these chit-chats of the mind can distract our life. So I focus, I said, okay, next 5 minutes, I'm going to observe the flower. And then maybe within 1 minute, my minds get distracted, thinking of the flower, where I can buy it, what color is that, blah 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 blah. So then we are getting lost. This we need to train, train, train. The more we train, that means when we said we want to focus, we focus without get distracted. That's the first step. All human beings in the doesn't matter you're living in the city, you're living in the village, or living in the cave, we all need this focused mind. So this focused mind we need to develop. So more and more you develop the focused mind using your awareness. Remember, to focus, you really needed awareness, because awareness is the one projecting. Okay. The moment you focus with any objects, and then you come to one state where you come in the state where you still focus, but at the same time you relax. That we call meditation, dhyana. Dhyana here means the focus, whatever focus object you focus is really landed on the consciousness. You'll not get distracted. You're observing the breath. You're still in the breath. In the beginning, you want to observe the breath. Probably you're a little bit tight. You need to really effort to focus. I need efforts to observing the breath. But after 5 minutes, maybe you realize, okay, I doesn't need any effort because I really stay with the breath. And then you really relaxed. In the relaxed state, in the effortless state, then you already enter into the next phase we call dhyana, meditations. Meditation here means you still need the object, you still within the object, the object can be flower, object can be breath, but you relax. In the relaxed state, what you experience is the projections of the objects coming to the consciousness. You might experience the pure consciousness. If you go a little bit deeper, and you start opening yourself, you feel open space, you feel joyful, you feel calm, or you feel whatever these qualities, the good qualities, the vastness, the quality, all the qualities of the pure consciousness will arise. That means you're already in the state between meditations and the liberations. Liberation means you're liberating yourself. The samadhi means liberating, momentarily liberating.
So is then the consciousness as well liberating, and is feelings, good feelings of happiness, well-being on all this. So this is consciousness too.
Yep. Yes. The moment you have a contact with the consciousness, then you feel the liberations. As I say, this is not permanent, and is also ungraspable. You cannot grasp it. You cannot put in the box. So if it happened right now, I'm sitting and meditating, and then I focus my breath, and then slowly I relax, and then my breath transcend into the state of the meditation. That means the projection started going to the consciousness. And then the third stage is I start awareing of this pure consciousness. That means I feel light, I feel like a free some moment. And it's only happening that particular moment. Okay. And maybe after you finish your meditation, you're still getting these echoes of this experience. It's still there, but this echo will diffuse by a moment. Like after one day or half a day, the echo will diffuse. We cannot put this experience into the concepts, because the experience of the liberations always change. Every time you practice, the experience a change. Maybe a particular time of your life, you do some practice, you feel some same experience, repetitive experience, but that not means this repetitive experience will come back forever. Okay, after 100 years, you do the same practice, you get the same experience. No, you will might change. So this is because that's why I said it's ungraspable. Whatever liberations experiences you get it from the pure consciousness, it can be anything. It can be painful. It can be pleasant. Both are possible. So if you go beyond the principles of the concepts, if you don't use in a concept, okay, I do this practice like a mathematic, formula of the mathematic formula. I do this A, I will get the outcome B. No, if you come into this approach, the meditations will stop there. You don't liberate yourself, because the liberations need to something unconceptual, non-conceptual mind. You have to come to from non-conceptual mind. Then you can experience these liberations. Today is different. Tomorrow will be different. You need to open yourself for that. We need that in the nowadays.
Okay, so do you have, like, for starters who want to try a little bit with that, do you have some homework, or like maybe more experienced people as well who like to get some advice how to can practice that and how to integrate it in their life?
Yes. And in a life, I would always say that there are no. We can distinguish between the experienced and the beginners practitioners, but end of the day, everybody needs the same tools and the same methods. So what are my suggestions? As you can start from the small. What's the make difference between the beginners and the advanced practitioners? The beginners need small doses. The advanced practitioner probably they need more doses. For example, if you are beginners, just start from the 1 minute or 5 minutes practice. Just don't go very long. You can just put like a 3 minutes alarm clocks, and then just simply stay with the object. You choose any object. You don't particularly choose, okay, I need to do meditation so seriously. I need to find myself so seriously. Don't take it so much, this kind of seriousness. Just be in the flow. You come, okay, now I feel like a time. Today's I need to practice every day 3 minutes. Okay, that's good. Okay, today I'm just sitting here. What is object in front of me? I have a flower. So I can choose just stay with the flower. Set the alarm, stay with the flower. Because what you're doing here is that you're training the awareness. You're training the awareness. And then more and more you practice longer. Do short, but many times. This is the perfect for the beginners. Even advanced practitioners, they like it, because short many times, you get much better benefits than you do one sitting for 1 hour or longer. Then mostly the quality of the meditation is very bad. So if you want to say, okay, now I want to meditate, so I will sit 1 hour. After 2-3 minutes is fine. And then 10 minutes later, shoulders hurting, you feel completely disconnected. with your awareness, because you're feeling completely overburdening your system. Don't do that. Make it short, but many times. You can do 3 minutes in the morning, 3 minutes in the evening, or 3 times 3 minutes. 3 minutes in the morning, 3 minutes in the noon, and 3 minutes in the evening. So this enough from the beginning to start it, because the more and more you're doing, it's become effortless. It's become like ease. You will start to enjoy because it's become more and more effortless. If if you need to put too much effort, that means it's too much for you. So then it's good in the beginning, but it will be collapsed after some times. So don't put too much piling up into your practice. Make it the practice simple in a regular basis, and then do it. Just do the 3 steps, what I already explaining. First, observing any object and check, are you getting distracting? If you're getting distracting, just still stay in the first step. Okay, my first step's done. I'm getting improved with my awareness. I can focus, I can concentrate without getting lost. And then going to develop to the second stage. I can concentrate and then learn to relax. So first, your focus will be totally important. Your focus will be object, whatever particular object. Your breath, for example. Your breath is so important. And you observe the breath and observe the breath. After you realize sometimes later, you learn to relax the body. Relax. You feel loose, locker. In German, we call locker. Loose. And then this loosely slab is become effortless meditation. You're not really so strict. You become loose and relaxed, and you're still maintaining the stream flow of your consciousness, or I would say that awareness still there. I'm aware of the object. And then more and more you are doing that, you can start experiencing this spaceness. The third one is the pure consciousness, where these all objects will projecting there. And then you can stay. When you reach in that state, when you feel the experience of the spaceness, you can decide to stay wherever, how long you want to sit. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, whole day, doesn't matter. But the key is to make sure you don't push so hard so that you're getting so tight. The moment you get tight, you need to go back to the reset step first. Break the meditations, taken up, go to toilet, go to the kitchens, drink something, or if you're in the office, you just move a little bit and come back to sit, and then focus back again. Again, start from the first set.
Yeah, I think probably nowadays, as you said, 3 minutes in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, and 3 in the evening is already a lot for people.
Yes.
And even I don't have sometimes time to meditate, and we are yoga teachers. So, but if if I think, oh my God, I didn't do it for 3 days or for 1 week or whatever, then I try at least when I wake up in the morning to stay a few minutes with my heart. And then all of a sudden during the day, I realized that even that was so good for the whole day. Just waking up and focus a little bit on my heart, and so I make different decisions. Or if I'm meditating and give myself some time after meditating to be in this kind of state after meditating and like open my eyes and being still aware of the effect of the meditation, it as well is easier to come back during my day, I have the feeling. So maybe this helps too.
Yeah, I think, as I said, make it simple, make it very simple, and not too much burdening yourself. If you can do 3 times a day, it's great. Or if you can do even once a day, it's even great. It doesn't need much more effort. You just think that something small, you wake up in the morning, take 2 minutes, before you taking your phone to check anything. Before that, you just come and sit, you move a little bit, from the bed. Just stay for a moment there, whatever you feel. Or you can observe your breath. 2 minutes, 1 minute. That's enough. And we have an informal meditation. Informal meditation, whenever you do whatever activities in your throughout the day, this is very important to apply. Informal meditation means, for example, when you're taking a shower, you can feel the sensation, the hot water or whatever you're doing, or maybe you're in the kitchen eating or taking a breakfast. You can observe the food. Take the moments, be silent, not with a scroll your phone at the same time eating or watching something and eating. Put that all away. If you do regularly that, and choose one day, okay, today I'm not going to watch any screens or any of my phones when I'm going to have my breakfast. So put all of that and just stay with the food you're eating, because these are also meditations and these are concentrations. Concentration meditation. The object is your food, because the object of your awareness is everything's. Whatever you do in your life, everything can be object. So is it you're doing consciously? It means your awareness presence there, or we do it mechanically. I'm eating, but at the same time I'm watching some movie. Netflix and about the same time, but I'm not aware how much I'm eat. Then you realize, oh my God, I eat a whole big pack of the popcorn, so much in my stomach. But if you do consciously, probably you don't eat whole pack because it's a lot. Because you're consciously aware it is so much, a lot. But most of the time we do a lot of actions unconsciously. That means not aware of that object. Because not aware of that object is just go on like that. So aware any object, 1 minute, 2 minutes, perfect. You don't need to do much more. And then slowly you can increase. If you are missed your meditation practice, it's okay. Don't punish. Don't be sad. Don't be like, oh, I didn't do that last 3-4 days. It's fine. It's life like that, up and down. When you feel good, you do it. When you don't feel good, it's fine. But don't punish yourself. But then you come back to the track. You just come back to the track, okay? I will come back again. Okay, start from 1 minute daily, increase to the 2 minutes, and then you can keep going that. Life is like that,
Okay, Krishna. Thank you very much for once more talking about wisdom and this time awareness and consciousness. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, Felicitas, and I hope you benefiting of these practices and then applying, and looking forward to the 4th podcast and the other thema we can cover up in the next sessions.
Yes. Thank you very much, Krishna. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon too. Bye-bye.
Yoga moments. Enhance your happiness with the ancient wisdom of yoga.